What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and this one is spicy. We have mass super minions in Legend 1? What? I found this army from a few of my clanmates in the rated Mr. Ash, and you took my username. They were testing in an FC night and came up with this strategy, and guys, it is insane. I took it first day into my legend hits, and I did fail my first two attacks, but then woo, I was cooking with it. So let's get into it, and I'll teach you a little bit about how to do it and what you're looking for. So we're starting off with the giant arrow queen with the rocket backpack to just take out some of the buildings on the base. You're looking for the splash buildings like the fire spitters, scatter shots, multi-infernos, maybe the revenge tower, stuff like that. And then we're going to take your army and we're going to put down a line of super minions. Now, you don't want to put down all of your super minions at once because they have that 4 or 5 shot long range ability. You kind of want to wait until a few of them use that shot, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then drop a second line in behind your troops. You're also using the Sky Wagon and 3 dragons and a Lava Hound. Now, the dragons and the Lava Hound are to tank for your Grand Warden and your Minion Prince, while the baby dragons to funnel, and the Sky Wagon has more troops in it, like a dragon, to tank for the Warden and the Minion Prince, just until that the super minions move forward and get in front of them so they don't die too quickly. Now, as you can see in this attack, we just have tons of troops left. The Super Wizard Tower is also a big defense you want to try and distract or take out with your giant arrow rocket backpack combo. Basically anything that does any splash damage. Now, as you can see, we've crushed this base. We still have a bunch of super minions left. Our Dragon Duke is still alive. So is our Minion Prince. We did use the revive on the Duke, but we have an absolutely crushing first 3-star. Let's get a little more into it in the second attack. So as you can see here, I'm using 1 Earthquake on the start there to take out the long shot and a few other defenses, setting the funnel for our super minions. As you can see, I'm peppering in about half of the super minions, about 10 of them, right in a row. And then I'm peppering in a few more right behind that right away. And then I'm kind of waiting for the last 7, maybe putting a few on the side to help funnel. Placing down a totem right away to go ahead and distract, and then placing the last 4 in behind once they have used a few of their long shots, just so that they can have their long shots as well. Now I'm making sure to distract that fire spitter when I can and try and keep the majority of my army alive without tanking the splash damage. Now you can see we're coming into this 3 multi-inferno tower section. We use our Warden's Eternal Tome to heal them, and then we're going to start using freezes on these multis because those can do a ton of damage to a lot of troops at once, and we need to keep our super minions alive. I did use that overgrowth on the fire spitter on the back end, also the monolith, so I could let my Dragon Duke walk around the back. Now, I just kept freezing those multi-inferno towers until they went down, and then the air defense, I didn't freeze it because it can only take out 1 super minion at a time. Since we have 21 of them, plus other troops, it's not that big of a threat towards our army. It's more of a threat towards our Minion Prince, our Dragon Duke, and I guess the Grand Warden. But if the Warden goes down, it's not that big of a deal. As you can see, we have a ton of troops left, and with the last totem there to distract the monolith and the fire spitter, this is going to be a second crushing 3-star in Legends 1 with this army. So let's move on to another attack, and we can get even more in depth with it. So we're starting off here, and as you can see, the CC is over there, but that's not my main goal that I'm trying to take out. I end up taking out 1 fire spitter on this side, and then just use my super minions in behind. I probably could have used a second earthquake on the CC to take it out, but I used it on the front end fire spitter just so that we could get through those defenses quicker. In hindsight, probably would have been better on the CC, but it's okay. we're using that first line of super minions. You can see I've kept 5 in the back just to go ahead and sprinkle on the right side to help funnel and throw in a few behind my army. Now the long shot is teeing off of my troops. I noticed that the CC wasn't too important, so I actually poisoned the Guardian. Now the poison does 30% damage to the Guardian and slows him down, which can be a really important factor. The long shot and the logger can really destroy lots of super minions at once, so you got to be careful. Now as you can see, we're pathing into a double multi-inferno tower compartment. We take both of them down and I freeze the revenge tower, so my Dragon Duke can take it down on the back side. Again, use that overgrowth on a pretty small section of the base, but it stopped the scatter shot from shooting at my troops, plus the air defense on my Dragon Duke. As you can see, now that the troops are right on top of it, they can push through it while I distract with one totem and end up crushing that final compartment of the base. I do have the Phoenix on the Minion Prince. I like it a lot more than on the Duke, just because like this, he always seems to be towards the end of the base, clutching up some strong defenses right at the very end. So I do like the Phoenix on him. I have the Angry Jelly on the Duke. The Grand Warden, of course, has Sneezy, and then the Queen has Frosty. So a good mix of hero pets. I think they're pretty much the strongest pets right now, with a few others that can be worked in. But let's get on to this next attack. Moving on to another attack here. This is more of a box base, and you're going to see I'm going to go at the 2 fire spitters through the core of the base, taking down both of them right at the start. And this is huge because now I don't have to worry about them. A lot of splash damage is gone, so I can place my 3 dragons, which is always first, with the Lava Hound, and then half of my super minions basically in a line. They're going to take out the main defenses as I start, and then I'm just looking for a value for my dragon, or my baby dragon. The rage spell on that multi is a little scary, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze it with the Minion Prince, and then eventually here go ahead and use my overgrowth spell on this air sweeper, being a little bit annoying. Then I put the Warden's Eternal Tome, and I actually used a few of my super minions on the top side to try and funnel my troops towards this core section of the base instead of wasting their time on the trash buildings up there. So once they funnel their way in, there's not a lot left of the base. There's basically these 2 multi-inferno towers, the overgrowth section, which just wears off now, and I still have my Dragon Duke, Minion Prince, Warden, a bunch of super minions, and that revive spell if I need it, which in this one I'm probably not going to need it, because look at how much of damage I've already done, 87%, without really using my hero ability on the Minion Prince and the revive spell on my Duke. So we're just absolutely crushing this base. You can see he has the logger. I did totem the opposite side of the logger, so it really does absolutely nothing. The logger is an interesting one. I don't know if he's the best guardian. I think he's probably the second best guardian behind the long shot still. I revived my queen just to speed up the attack, but that is another crushing 3-star. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, Smitty, this is a long video. Yes, it's a long video because this is a strategy that no one has really seen before, and I want to make sure you guys can get as much practice or just visuals on how this works as quickly as possible. Now you can see here, headhunters came out of the CC. My super minions were able to take those out pretty quickly without my Warden taking too much damage. He went down to about half health. I used 3 super minions on the bottom side to take out that multi. Just if they're on the outside, that's always a good way to get down some key defenses. You can just use a few super minions to take them down. But as you can see, even these core ring bases, because of the range of the super minions, they always path a few of them into the center of the base, which is great because you don't have to worry about the funnel and the possibility of having that 1-star scare. But as you can see, my troops are pathing here, and my Minion Prince actually paths off into the center to help take out those 2 heroes. And now it's just a matter of when to use my overgrowth spell on this back end revenge tower. I see it start shooting. I don't want to deal with it yet, so I just overgrowth it and then use my revive on the Dragon Duke to get him to work while that Revenge Tower is in the overgrowth spell. At this point, there's not much left. I have 2 free spells. My free spells, my targets with the free spells, okay? So I'm looking at targeting the Multi-Inferno Towers, Scatter Shots, the Revenge Tower, and maybe a Monolith or a couple heroes if they're locked on to... The Monolith if it's locked on to my Dragon Duke. The Long Shot if he's locked on to a group of Super Minions. But other than that, you're really using your free spells on the splash damage. You're not too worried about air defenses or other things like that. So here's our final attack, and as you can see, I'm not going for the CC. I'm actually going for the splash damage across the center of the base, and I've taken out 20% of the base just using that fire or rocket backpack and giant arrow combo. Now as you can see, I'm coming into a hard-hitting section right away. The great thing with the super minions is they stay out of range of most of these defenses and are able to take down the heroes without too much of an issue. Now the Duke is working away around the top side, taking out that raged compartment up there, while we have a raged compartment on the back side. Fire Spitter's being a little annoying, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze it along with the multi-archer tower. And then we're going to put the rest of our super minions in a second here with our baby dragon to help clean up somewhere on the base as well. Dragon Duke finally goes down after taking out that whole top side. I put down the baby dragon. I use a totem on the scatter shot, which unfortunately I placed it too close, so it just retargets my troops. And then we're going to overgrowth this rage section, I guess. I really probably didn't even need the overgrowth spell. I'm going to go ahead and revive my Duke so he can take out that multi-inferno tower. Now, kind of weird, my troops pathed over that scatter shot and that rage tower on the backside, so they're going to do a little bit of a loop-de-loop here. But as you can see, the base is pretty crushed. I've got 4 spells left over right now, and I don't really need them. I mean, I'm going to use them because I'm not going to accidentally fail with a raged up multi-archer tower taking out the rest of my troops or a multi-inferno, but at this point, 2 totems, I just throw them down, and as you can see, this base is absolutely crushed. So I'm going to leave the link to this army in the description. Seriously, you got to try it out. Even if you just do it in FCs, try it out. See how it works. It's actually kind of insane. So here is my Legends Day. The first 2 attacks, I was still getting used to the army, but then I went on a run. Unfortunately, my defense did not hold up today, minus 320. But still, pretty good offense. I'll see you tomorrow.